Do you guys remember when art used to just be a hobby? Um, I do. And today I'm going to be starting a little mini series where I turn art into my hobby again by painting things that I used to love to paint. Welcome if you are new here, and welcome back if you are returning. My name is Rachel. I'm the owner of a small art and stationery business called Proverbs and Pens. It's a Christian based shop that I started last year. And I've shared plenty of videos on here about that journey and making products and all that kind of stuff, which I'm so blessed to do. But throughout the midst of all of this, it's been such a huge learning curve. And I really miss just painting to paint, like sitting down and just being creative to be creative because it was a hobby of mine and because I enjoyed doing it. I feel like nowadays, if I do sit down, I'm like trying to learn a new technique or trying to figure out something to sell. And it's not good for like the creative side where things just come naturally. And honestly, I haven't painted in so long now because I've been so focused on product development and so focused on learning things behind the scenes that I really, really miss it. So I decided that I'm going to make a little series where I do all the old things that I loved to paint before. So if you are in a similar boat, if you're somebody who just miss it as a hobby and you want to do it again, if you're somebody who is like trying to pursue it as a career but you find it's not like as much as a hobby anymore as it is a job, then you guys should join me on this little series and paint something with me that you used to love to paint, whether it's a certain kind of picture, a certain technique, a certain medium, whatever it is. It can be another kind of craft. I actually think it'd also be really fun to explore things that I wish I would have tried more or like gotten deeper into it just to kind of spark that creativity again. So today I am going to do like a starry night or galaxy kind of painting in watercolor. This is something I used to love doing all the time. I literally like painted this so much, I cannot even tell you. I will try to find old pictures. I actually think I have a couple that I can probably dig through and find and show you guys. But these are the kind of paintings that I used to love doing, and I painted so much of it. Um, don't know why I went away from that, especially since I like have never stopped loving evergreen trees. I just used to do them only in silhouette. Now I paint like more realistic ones sometimes, but we're gonna go back to the classic starry night sky and silhouette in watercolor. So you guys should grab a cup of your favorite drink. I'm drinking leftover coffee, and grab your paints or your yarn or whatever you're going to do and join me for a cozy little afternoon. And we're going to just enjoy being creative together. So I think I'm going to do two watercolor paintings just to kind of like get started. I think it would be really fun to do this like larger piece. I just have here my palette that I kind of use. I think this is the one I use for watercolors. And then I have this palette here. Um, this is the brand. I can't remember the name. Let me see if I can get this to focus for you guys. But if you're interested in this palette, it's a really, really good one. So I think specifically what I'm going to do is just focus on having fun with the watercolors and getting a feel for them again. I'm not going to worry about like too much about color mixing and trying to do all the right techniques and all that kind of stuff. I'm just gonna have fun with it and play around. So let's dive in and see what we can make. It was so nice to force myself to sit down and to actually paint something. And specifically with watercolor, I just feel like I can have fun and play around and it doesn't have to be perfect. I think with other mediums, I tend to get really nitpicky in the details. With watercolor, even though you can make really detailed, beautiful paintings that I've seen other people do, For me, it just feels like I can be really loose with it, I can be messy and just have fun and not worry too much about the detail in the picture. And that's honestly what I really needed. I hadn't painted in so long until this point, and I really just needed to get those creative juices flowing again. I really just needed to practice putting paint to a piece of paper or a canvas or something, and to not have to worry about all the details and just have fun with it, and to get into that like creative process was really, really fun and much, much needed. I always loved painting these kind of pictures, like the starry night with the evergreen trees, because it reminded me of the places I had dreamed of seeing one day. I was a very like imaginative kid and loved fantasy type shows that were often filmed in like these magical looking places with these tall evergreen trees and these forests and all these beautiful mountains and everything. And I really wanted to visit a place that looked like that one day. But until then, I guess I would just keep painting all these beautiful starry nights and evergreen trees. Now I live in the beautiful, beautiful Colorado, and I still to this day can't believe the places that I've gotten to see and explore on this side of our country. And I know there's more places out there, even outside of the US, that just have like this magical feeling to it. But especially like meeting my husband and like getting into fishing, one of my favorite things about it is that it takes you to just some of the most beautiful places. And when you're just out there surrounded by these tall mountains and these tall canyons and these deep rivers and just all this beautiful nature, it's like a beautiful way just to breathe, and it's definitely inspiring. I think one of the reasons I also just haven't painted a lot is probably because it's been winter. I've been stuck inside more often than not, and I've just been so focused on developing the business, which probably is good that it's winter. I'm not distracted too much by like going out too often and things like that. Like, it's just a season of work, and that's fine. But I also have to balance that with like hobbies and creativity and staying creative, because that does affect my work. And we finally got to go hiking the other day. It's finally warm here in Colorado. We've gotten a lot of snow, and it's kind of like sparked that desire to like get back outside. And I realized like how much that fuels my creativity. So I'm definitely looking forward to the warm weather this year and just being surrounded by thousands of evergreen trees again, and painting more than I can count and all those kind of things. So I am so excited for the warm weather, but this was very nostalgic to paint one of these starry nights and mountains. It's a little different than I would have done in the past, but I think that's because my skills and I don't know, the way I paint it has changed, but it was still really, really fun. So I was gonna focus on just doing starry nights, but I realized that I kind of wanted to play around with other colors. So I decided to do like a reflection type image. I used to do these a lot as well. I think I just used to love painting anything with evergreen trees, and you can still see that in like my work today. If you go look at the watercolor paintings I have available on my notebooks. Like, I love evergreen trees, guys. It's probably never gonna change. Even in my abstract work, when I got really into it, I used to paint evergreen trees like hidden in the work, and that was so fun. But I just wanted to kind of play around with different colors, more warmer tones instead of cool. This palette is so pigmented. I still don't remember the exact name of it. I think the one I showed you guys is the actual name of it, but I've seen many artists use this. It's a great palette, and if you can get it like on a discount, it is just a steal. It's so pigmented, it's so good, and you can really control the color. Not a huge fan of this sketchbook. I feel like just after a little bit of water, it does not hold up well. It starts to warp a lot, but also it gets really grainy. I don't know how to describe it, but it just doesn't hold a ton of water well, which is not great for watercolor paper. So definitely gonna look for a different sketchbook, but I think I'm gonna set a goal this year to actually fill up a sketchbook. It has been so long since I've ever done that. Most of the time I'll rip pieces of paper out of a sketchbook, or if I get like a pad, I'll rip the pages out, and so I just have like all of these loose paintings. But I think it'll be really nice to like commit to filling a sketchbook, to just be creative, for it to be a space for me to just open up and feel like I don't have to be perfect. It's just for me to play around with. So we'll see if by the end of this year I can actually complete that goal. Maybe you guys can keep me accountable, but I am also really excited to show you guys other techniques and things that I used to love to do within this little mini series. But I think I'm just gonna let you guys finish watching the rest of these paintings. I'm just gonna kind of have fun with evergreen trees and doing some stars, and I really hope you guys enjoyed watching these paintings come together. This was so much fun, honestly. I didn't change a bunch of angles and switch, get creative shots when I was filming this one, because I really just wanted to focus on painting. I tried to switch it up a little bit, but honestly, I think most of the time you guys just saw like an overhead shot of me painting. But this one is just a starry night with some trees, and these are way more detailed than the trees I would have done before, but it's still so fun. Like, each of these paintings have a lot of mistakes. Like there's a lot of feathering that I didn't want, and it could be blended more and just little things like that. But I really just wanted to focus on having fun and just putting paint on a canvas. I used to love doing like these reflection kind of paintings. So I decided to try one. And again, it's not perfect at all, but I absolutely love it. And I'm so happy that I did this. It really makes me want to pick up the paintbrush a lot more. I think now I'm more into like misty evergreen, like forests and things like that. So you'll probably see me do more of that, but this was fun to kind of like spark it again. I love doing skies as well, so I want to get better at that. I guess let me show you guys this with the tape off. I didn't take the tape off. Okay, so this is what it looks like without the tape. So we have a cute little sketchbook spread. One of the things though that I know I've never been good at when it comes to watercolor is patience. The reason why I think I like doing two at once is because I can move and work on another one while the other one's drying. I hate just sitting around and like waiting for it to be done. I think that's why I enjoy like acrylic, and even gouache dries fairly fast sometimes, depending on how much water you use. So that's also why I enjoy doing two paintings. But again, this was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun as well. If you did paint anything, you should definitely go down in the description box, head over to one of my social medias and share something with me. And I'm excited for the next part of the series because I'm going to be doing acrylic pouring, which I haven't done in what feels like forever, but it's something I used to do all the time. It became my main way of painting and what I sold for a long time. So I am so excited to try that again. So that'll be in part 2. Make sure you guys stay tuned. If you liked this video and you want to see other videos in terms of business ventures and how I am learning how to run my small business and doing it alongside the Lord, then you guys should subscribe to this channel. It would be much appreciated, and I would love to have you join us over here. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.